In the heart of Africa, a continent of breathtaking extremes, live two titans of the primate world. Separated by vast landscapes, they are kings of their respective domains. In the misty, high-altitude forests of the Virunga Mountains, a colossal figure emerges from the fog: the eastern gorilla, the largest primate on Earth. Its sheer size is a testament to the raw power of nature. Far to the west, in the dense, humid lowlands of the tropical rainforest, another ruler holds sway. Lighter, more agile, the western gorilla navigates its world with a different kind of strength. For millennia, they have evolved in parallel, shaped by their unique environments. But what if these two dominant forces were to meet? What if their paths crossed in a battle for supremacy? This is not just a question of strength, but of strategy, intelligence, and the very will to dominate. Who would emerge victorious? Our story begins with geography. An animated map of Africa reveals two distinct regions, separated by the Congo River basin. To the east lie the volcanic slopes and high-altitude bamboo forests, home to the eastern gorilla. This challenging, rugged environment demands immense physical power. The cold, thin air and mountainous terrain have sculpted a creature of unparalleled size and strength, built to endure harsh conditions and conserve energy. Their diet, rich in fibrous vegetation, supports their massive bulk. This is a world where size is survival. To the west, the landscape transforms into a sprawling, dense lowland rainforest. Here, the western gorilla thrives. The environment is a labyrinth of trees and thick undergrowth, favoring agility and a keen spatial awareness. Food, especially fruit, is more abundant, but often requires climbing and extensive foraging. This has shaped the western gorilla to be slightly smaller, with a more gracile build, but with remarkable upper body strength for arboreal movement. Their habitat rewards not just power, but adaptability and endurance over long distances. So, while the eastern gorilla is a mountain fortress of muscle, the western gorilla is a dynamic forest athlete. The very land they walk upon has forged their destiny and defined their physical prowess. When we talk about gorillas, we talk about power. And in a head-to-head comparison, the numbers are staggering. The eastern gorilla stands as the undisputed heavyweight champion of the primate world. A fully grown silverback can stand over 6 feet tall on its hind legs and weigh up to 500 pounds. Its arm span can exceed 8 feet, a reach powered by colossal muscles in its chest, back, and shoulders. This isn't just bulk, it's functional power. The sheer force it can generate is immense, with a bite strong enough to crush thick bamboo stalks as if they were twigs. Every aspect of its physique is designed for dominance and defense against threats in its high-altitude home. Now, let's look at the western gorilla. While slightly smaller, topping out around 400 pounds, it is by no means a lightweight. What it may concede in sheer mass, it compensates for in other areas. Its frame is built for a more active lifestyle. The dense forest canopy requires incredible upper body strength for climbing, making its arms powerful tools for both movement and combat. Observers note their surprising agility and quicker movements compared to their eastern cousins. So we have a classic matchup: the raw, overwhelming strength and size of the eastern gorilla versus the more athletic, agile, and potentially more enduring power of the western gorilla. One is a walking bastion of force. The other is a dynamic powerhouse. But a fight is never won on size alone. The mind of a silverback is a complex machine of strategy, social calculation, and raw instinct. Both species are highly intelligent, living in tight-knit family groups led by a dominant male. The silverback's role is to protect his family at all costs, and this dictates his behavior. Eastern gorilla silverbacks are often described as more reserved, projecting an aura of calm, immense authority. Their dominance is so absolute that it often requires little physical demonstration. A stare, a low grunt, or a subtle posture change is enough to maintain order. Their aggression is primarily defensive, a terrifying force unleashed only when their family is directly threatened. Western gorillas, living in environments with potentially more frequent encounters with other groups or predators like leopards, can exhibit more overt territorial behavior. Their displays of dominance can be more frequent and dramatic. The famous chest beating, charging, and vocalizations are powerful tools of intimidation designed to avoid a physical conflict by proving one's strength beforehand. They are masters of psychological warfare. So we see two different leadership styles: the eastern gorilla's quiet, imposing confidence versus the western gorilla's more demonstrative and proactive territorial defense. In a confrontation, this psychological dimension would be just as crucial as the physical one. So how would these titans actually fight? Let's break down their combat abilities. A guerrilla conflict is a spectacle of intimidation first and physicality second. The primary weapon for both is the bluff charge. A silverback will explode forward, tearing up vegetation, beating its chest with cupped hands to create a terrifying drumming sound, and roaring with intimidating power. The ground itself seems to shake. This display is designed to make the opponent back down without a single blow. If the charge doesn't work, the fight turns physical. The eastern gorilla's primary advantage is its sheer mass. It would likely try to use its weight to overwhelm its opponent, grappling, pushing, and using its immense strength to pin the other down. Its bite is a formidable weapon, capable of inflicting serious injury. The goal is to establish dominance quickly and decisively through brute force. The western gorilla, being more agile, might employ a different strategy. It could use its quicker movements to evade a direct grapple, circling and looking for an opening. Its powerful arms are not just for climbing. They can deliver stunning blows. While it cannot match the eastern gorilla's weight, it may possess greater stamina for a more prolonged encounter, a result of its more active foraging lifestyle. The fear factor is immense on both sides. The sight of a 500-pound silverback charging is enough to send any creature fleeing. The key would be which gorilla could stand its ground in the face of such a terrifying display. Imagine a neutral clearing, a patch of earth where the mountains meet the lowlands. Two silverbacks, strangers from different worlds, find themselves face to face. The tension is electric. The air grows heavy. The first phase is assessment. Each gorilla stands its ground, observing the other. They read body language, muscle tension, the look in each other's eyes. The eastern gorilla, larger and more imposing, stands tall, its sheer presence a declaration of power. The western gorilla, slightly smaller but coiled like a spring, returns the stare, refusing to show submission. The escalation begins. The western gorilla, perhaps more prone to demonstrative displays, initiates the first chest beat. The sound echoes through the clearing, a hollow, powerful drumbeat. It follows with a short, stomping charge, tearing a branch from a nearby bush and shaking it violently. It's a test, a question of resolve. The eastern gorilla does not immediately reciprocate with the same explosive energy. Instead, it lets out a deep, rumbling roar that seems to vibrate through the very ground. It rises slowly to its full, intimidating height, its massive frame eclipsing its rival. It takes a few deliberate, ground-shaking steps forward. This calm, immense confidence is its own form of psychological warfare. The western gorilla charges again, this time closing the distance, a full-blown bluff. But the eastern gorilla stands firm, absorbing the display without flinching. As the western gorilla stops just short, the eastern silverback lunges, not with speed, but with unstoppable momentum. The collision is a clash of titans. The eastern gorilla uses its superior weight to drive the western gorilla back, grappling with its enormous arms. The western gorilla, agile and strong, struggles fiercely, trying to use its mobility to break free. But the sheer mass and raw power of the eastern gorilla are overwhelming. It forces the western gorilla into a subordinate position, not through a brutal, bloody battle, but through an undeniable assertion of physical dominance. The contest is over. The western gorilla, acknowledging the superior force, averts its gaze, a clear sign of submission. So who is the winner? In a hypothetical one-on-one confrontation, our analysis points to the eastern gorilla. While the western gorilla's agility and fierce territorial instincts make it a formidable opponent, it cannot overcome the fundamental laws of physics. The eastern gorilla's significant advantage in size, weight, and raw strength would likely be the deciding factor in a direct physical contest. Its strategy of using immense power and an unshakable, dominant presence would be incredibly difficult to counter. The fight would most likely be decided not by a prolonged battle, but by a swift and overwhelming assertion of dominance, where the larger animal's physical superiority proves undeniable. The king of the mountains would likely claim the throne. But it's crucial to remember that this is a hypothetical scenario. In the wild, these magnificent animals would likely never meet, and they should never be made to fight. Each is perfectly adapted to its own world, a master of its own domain. The true winner is nature itself, for having created such incredible and powerful creatures. Their strength is not meant for spectacle, but for the protection of their families and the survival of their species, a duty they carry out with profound intelligence and dignity. We are privileged to share a planet with them, and our role is not to imagine them in conflict, but to ensure their protection. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of gorillas. If you found this analysis fascinating, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content about the most incredible creatures on our planet. And let us know in the comments, based on the evidence, who do you think would win? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching.